up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And we just got some breaking news and some good and bad news on Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice. We'll break it all down right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another video on my channel. Guys, we just got some breaking news on Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice regarding his impending suspension. I am recording this late in the evening, so you're not going to see this until the day after. I am a little bit late on this, unfortunately, because I was busy earlier today, but definitely wanted to sit down and talk about this for you guys. So this is from Adam Schefter saying Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice is expected to have his disciplinary hearing with the NFL on Tuesday, September 30th in New York. This means that Rice now is likely to be able to play the first 4 weeks of the season before any potential discipline is imposed for his role in a multi-car crash in Dallas during the 2024 offseason. So that is the breaking news from Adam Schefter. So a lot of us anticipated that Rashee Rice would be suspended to start the season, that the Chiefs would just be without him to begin the season. And that's certainly what I thought was going to happen. And a lot of people have been comparing Rashee Rice's case to that of Jordan Addison of the Minnesota Vikings, who had a reckless driving incident, and he's already received his suspension. Now, of course, Rashee Rice's legal case off the field was a little bit of a different story than Jordan Addison's, but ultimately it's a little interesting how Rashee Rice is just going to be able to play to begin the season, even after, his case was settled off the field, outside of the NFL, I should say. Now we thought, okay, the NFL is going to come in with their decision now, but looks like that's going to be delayed at least until September 30th. So I said in the intro that this is good and bad news for the Kansas City Chiefs because I think there's two ways really to look at this. First of all, we can be positive about the fact that the Chiefs will now have Rashee Rice for that first 4-game stretch of the season, which includes the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. It's good that you're going to have Rashee Rice for those games because we know what he brings to the table. We know this Chiefs offense struggled last year without their number one wide receiver. And I'm really excited actually to have Rashee Rice for that Super Bowl rematch versus the Philadelphia Eagles in week 2, because I don't think the Eagles really got the Chiefs at their best. Now you'll have Rashee Rice for that matchup, obviously. And then after that, let's just assume Rashee Rice is suspended and he has to go away after that Baltimore Ravens game. Then you take on the Jaguars, the Lions, the Raiders, and the Commanders in the next 4 games. So let's just say best case scenario, Rashee Rice gets suspended 4 games. You can handle that schedule without Rashee Rice. And I want to be clear too, I think the Chiefs can handle really most any regular season games without Rashee Rice. The Chiefs do not need Rashee Rice to win regular season games, but we'll talk about that more here in a second. I'm not worried about the Chiefs' ability to win regular season games without Rashee Rice. Now, where this gets tricky, though, is, what is the length of the suspension? When is he going to be suspended? Because, okay, you have him for that tough stretch of games, and I think that's a good thing. But the flip side of this is that if, let's say, Rashee Rice doesn't get suspended until week 6 and he receives a 6-game suspension, you're going to be without him for the stretch run of the regular season. Maybe you're fighting for the number 1 seed and you really need him back. And then you could also potentially risk Rashee Rice getting suspended into the postseason. And that's definitely not something that we want, and something that a lot of us were afraid of. I thought once Rashee Rice's legal case was settled, outside of the NFL, that they were just going to hand down the suspension. It's like, okay, that's fine. We can win games without Rashee Rice. But you're going to need him in the postseason when the games start to get a little bit more serious. And the risk that we run now with the suspension kind of being, up in the air when it's actually going to happen and how long it's going to be, you risk losing Rashee Rice for that important stretch of games. And I honestly, personally, would have rather just had him get suspended to start the year. Whether it's 4 games, 6 games, and maybe even 8 games, because I do think 8 games is on the table. Would I put money down right now that Rashee Rice is going to be suspended for 8 games? No, but it's definitely on the table, I think, because you have to consider, and we talked about this with Lucas Murphy and Michael Darcy countless times on all of our channels, but there were kids involved in the accident that he caused. Again, it was a 6-car pileup. He fled the scene. I mean, you have to add that in there too. He fled the scene. The NFL does have the option to throw the book at Rashee Rice, and you couldn't really blame them for doing that if that's what they decided to do. So, guys, the way that I see this really is, yeah, I'm glad we have Rashee Rice to start the season, but I don't want to go too far into the season and then all of a sudden he's gone when you need him most. And Michael Darcy actually brought this up on his channel over at KC Sports Report, and I thought it was a really good point too. But you also kind of have to worry about, having Rashee Rice for, let's say, the first 4 games and everything's great, and then all of a sudden he gets ripped away from you. How is that going to affect this offense? How is that going to affect the way this Chiefs team operates? Because, last year when they had Rashee Rice and he got injured, it was kind of a big initial shock, right? And the Chiefs were like, what do we do? I mean, this guy was getting 80% of our targets to begin the season, and now all of a sudden he's gone. They kind of had to scramble to fill his production. Now, on the bright side, you at least know the suspension is coming, so you can prepare for it. And I think the Chiefs are better equipped to lose Rashee Rice this year than they were last year. I mean, the wide receiver room is deeper. You have the rookie Jalen Royals, who I think can really step into that Rashee Rice role. Travis Kelce's still around. We have a lot of tight ends pushing to make this roster. I think the running game is going to be more of a factor. I think it has to be, especially with how much you've invested in this offensive line. So the Chiefs are going to have an opportunity here to showcase what else they have outside of Rashee Rice while he's suspended. And I think that's all fine and dandy, but I think now the concern becomes, how long is he going to be suspended and when? Because that's going to be really important when it comes to predicting how this season is going to go. But that's really my thoughts on the Rashee Rice news. But I definitely want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Rashee likely being able to play now in the first 4 games of the season? Would you rather just take the suspension now, or are you happy with this news? Definitely let me know down below. But with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com. And last but not least, you can follow me on Twitter at showmefb. That's all I got for you guys in this one. I will see you in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.